Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Arnab Goswami on the debate at 9. Presented by Amity University. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group and NECC in partnership with Mind Super App and beyond.
Good evening and welcome. Hashtag UCC fast tracked. Now we must all push hard to make sure it soon becomes hashtag UCC reality. The Republic Network has been at the absolute forefront of demanding on your behalf a uniform civil code. Why? Because I think that's the most secular thing to do. And there is finally, and thank God for that today, real movement towards uniform civil code. The Law Commission is seeking responses formally and it has given a 1-month deadline. That means we are moving towards uniform civil code. We hope it happens in this term of the Modi government. A uniform civil code. The promise that we made to ourselves in our constitution many years back, the principle, parity for all before the law, one nation, one people, one law, the most secular move that we can bring, the most secular direction that we can take as a nation, the greatest thing of all, the one change that will bind us all, that will unite us all, a uniform civil code. A uniform civil code which will end all discrimination and oppression and denial of human rights and gender injustice in one sweep. Forever, a permanent change, a change for good. And it's going to happen. I know the pseudos are nervous. I know the lobby doesn't like it, but it's going to happen. For India to be a global superpower, we have to progress on the legal front, the social front. We cannot be economically strong, but socially divided, legally vulnerable. We cannot allow this injustice. One set of laws to be applied on one Indian citizen, another set of laws to be applied on another Indian citizen, divide citizens in the name of religion. This is injustice. For 75 years in the name of secularism, we have allowed this injustice, but I say tonight, no more. The change has to be immediate, it has to be demanded more loudly and more vocally. We have to shout to be heard on a demand for a UCC. No middle line, no middle ground, no compromise anymore. Hashtag UCC fast tracked. Now let's move it at incredible speed. Also tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on the debate, DMK versus BJP fight coming up in a few minutes from now. On a cash for jobs scam that has hit the DMK Minister Senthil Balaji. That's my debate number 1 tonight, viewers. Debate number 2 this evening on the UCC fast tracked. Debate number 3, Nitish says it's not going to be 2024. He says the Lok Sabha elections will happen in 2023. We are truly in election season, and here are the headlines this Wednesday evening on the debate tonight. Massive development of the Uniform Civil Code. Centre fast tracks the process, seeks the views of stakeholders 1 month time. UCC will happen, it seems here. Law Commission takes the first big step towards the UCC.
कि कौन चीज है, कब चुनाव होगा कोई जानता है जी? कोई जरूरी है कि अगले ही साल चुनाव होगा? कोई ठिकाना है कि और पहले ही चुनाव हो जाए?
Nitish Kumar says There will be elections in 2023. Is he making a prediction or taking a guess, or is he just paranoid? BJP hits out as a Nitish prediction, says he's under big pressure and desperate to be Prime Minister. In a dramatic turn of events, Tamil Nadu minister arrested late night after 18-hour raids in the cash for jobs scam. And all agencies ready on ground and on standby. Cyclone Biparjoy to make landfall at 4 p.m. tomorrow in Gujarat's Kutch. First in Tamil Nadu, we saw 18 hours of raids, the arrest of a sitting electricity minister, a heart condition, judicial proceedings in hospitals, and now judicial custody in an alleged cash for job scam. We have a big DMK versus BJP debate. This is what has happened.
After 18-hour-long raids by ED at Chennai and Karur, the Tamil Nadu electricity minister was arrested at 1:30 a.m. in a cash for jobs case. And within 24 hours, Senthil Balaji, who was seen going for morning walks the previous day, has been advised to undergo an immediate bypass surgery at a Tamil Nadu government hospital.
May 2021, they tried everything possible to dilute this case because the charge sheet was filed in 2018 against Senthil Balaji in the same case. Supreme Court in 2 judgments very clearly said that all the evidentiary values are there. In fact, in the first judgment, many months back, it directed Tamil Nadu police to book Senthil Balaji, file a charge sheet under Prevention of Corruption.
In fact, here is the now Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, MK Stalin, explaining Senthil's culpability in detail.
இன்னைக்கு பாத்தீங்கன்னா அவர் மட்டும் இல்ல, ஒட்டுமொத்தமாக பாலாஜியினுடைய தம்பி இந்த கரூர் மாவட்டத்தை தன்னுடைய கட்டுப்பாட்டில் வச்சிருக்கிறாரு. கட்டுப்பாடுனா கொள்ளையடிக்கிறதுல, ஊழல் செய்கிறதுல, லஞ்சம் வாங்குறதுல.
7 years later, both Senthil Balaji and the narrative seem to have switched sides. And the DMK has resorted to play the victim card.
18 hours, the Honorable Minister was kept in custody without giving him water, and he has been put into a lot of mental depression. And apart from, we could see a lot of injuries in his body. We do not know who is responsible for that.
Who has a problem with the law catching up to the corrupt? Let's debate.
Face off tonight at the top between Sanju Verma of the BJP and senior DMK leader TKS Elangovan. Mr. Elangovan, good evening. This is Arnab here. Mr. Elangovan, good evening. Now the Supreme Court has said you must proceed in the investigation in all the cases in the job for cash scam. Therefore, the government says the agency is only doing what the Supreme Court itself has asked it to do. So what is your complaint, especially when your leader and Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Mr. Stalin has himself accused Senthil Balaji of land grabbing, looting and corruption? These are the words used by your leader to describe the same person who you are now defending.
No, we are not defending because Senthil Balaji himself had told that he is ready to face the charges. The question is, the case, the corruption charges were made when he was minister in the Jayalalitha government, way back in 2014. Then they had investigated and the High Court had quashed the order. Then they had gone, the ED had gone with the data to the Supreme Court. Our question is, without data, Supreme Court would not have allowed for the trial to continue. Our charge is, now you come to the secretariat, raid Senthil Balaji's office for an offence which had happened in 2014 when DMK is in power. This is targeted against the whole party and not an individual. Senthil Balaji had already stated that he is ready, he will face the charges. So that is not the question. But raiding the secretariat without the permission of the state government, after when we are in power, when there are already documents taken, and see, he is not sitting in the same room when he was the transport minister. What is the purpose of raiding the office, secretariat office and his house now when the crime had occurred in 2000, the charges were for the 2014 cases, and with the documents, with the evidence, the ED had gone to the Supreme Court and got a favourable order. This is to insult DMK, first thing.
May I?
That is our charge.
Insult as in which way? What do you mean by insult the DMK? I mean, here is an arrest which has happened. Mr. Elangovan, you are a very senior leader.
And investigating a case where when he was... No.
May I please come in?
My charge is that, what is the purpose of going... Ma'am, what is the purpose of going to the state secretariat now, after... See, 14, now it is 9 years old. The case is before 9 years. What is the purpose of going to the secretariat?
So you're saying that you're saying, Mr. Elangovan, and by the way, viewers, if you're watching the pictures on your screen, yes, are that of the 47-year-old Tamil Nadu Power Minister Senthil Balaji. You know, if you can notice there, he's got his hand out there. You must see the pictures, Sanju. He's got his hand out there. He's holding the left-hand side of his chest. You know, BJP says he's relatively young man, went for a jog yesterday. How can he suddenly get a heart condition down? That's not right. He may have a heart problem which may have been aggravated because of the stress that he is experiencing, they are saying. Now, point is, I want you to specifically reply to what very senior DMK leader Mr. Elangovan is saying. He is saying, why are you going to the state secretariat? You are trying to send a message. Trying to send a message to the state government. You're trying to intimidate the state government, and that's your intention. So why go to the secretariat for an alleged case of corruption which happened almost a decade back?
Okay. You know, I heard Mr. Elangovan very keenly, and you know, this is what I have to say, Arnab. Very quickly, first and foremost, I would like to draw the attention of your viewers, and I'm sure Mr. Elangovan is well aware of these facts as well. There are two judgments by the Supreme Court which are very, very essential and pertinent to Senthil Balaji's case. One is the Supreme Court verdict dated 8 September 2022, and one is the Supreme Court verdict dated 16th May 2023. In the verdict dated September 2022, the Supreme Court said that the criminal charges against Senthil Balaji, his brother Ashok Balaji, his aide Shanmugam should be restored. Because remember, the Madras High Court had allowed an out-of-court settlement between the victim and the perpetrator and had allowed the hatchet to be buried. But the Supreme Court said that since the charges against Senthil Balaji are of a very serious nature, the criminal charges need to be restored. And guess what? Despite a diktat from the Supreme Court, the Tamil Nadu police, when it filed its final report in the Madras High Court, it did not mention any of the grievous charges. So now let me tell you, then on the judgment dated 16th May 2023, the Supreme Court actually blasted the Tamil Nadu police, which de facto
but why are you going to the state secretariat? Why are you going to the states? You answer the point Mr. Elangovan raised. Mr. Elangovan's point was, what do you expect to find in the state secretariat? Am I right, Mr. Elangovan? Your problem is not the process of law. He's saying, why are you going to the state secretariat? Mr. Elangovan, you want to make the point again? You want to make the point again?
Answer that.
You want to answer that?
See, the case was,
I heard Mr. Elangovan, the charges were. Let me answer or not. This cannot be a debate if you have
No. I want him to make the point again to you a second time. Allow that, Sanju. Thank you. Mr. Elangovan, make the point again so she responds to you very specifically. Mr. Elangovan, just let's give him his chance. Thank you.
Yeah. See, my question is, the case, the charges were framed during between 2014 and the period before he was removed from the ministry at that time when Jayalalitha was the chief minister. My question is, the ED had collected all evidences. What is the purpose of going to the state secretariat when the case is before the court? Without evidence or without charges, how can the matter go to court? With all these things are over, now they are going to the...
Please stop repeating yourself. I heard you, sir. I heard you, sir. Thank you so much. I will now answer in very simple terms, and I will only repeat what the Supreme Court has said, because this question was asked of the Supreme Court as recently as 16th May 2023, that raids are being conducted by the Enforcement Directorate with respect to various cash for job scam at the Secretariat, at the houses of senior cabinet ministers. And I'm quoting from the Supreme Court verdict. The audience of Republic needs to listen to this. The Enforcement Directorate is entitled to proceed from the stage at which the impunged order tied their hands in the manner that the Enforcement Directorate deems fit. Once a piece of information relating to the acquisition of huge amount of illegal gratification in the matter of public employment has come into the public domain.
Why don't you ask the DMK questions?
It is the duty of the
Why don't you ask the AIDMK questions? You are in partnership with them. The corruption you are talking about, happened during the time of the Jayalalitha government between 2011 and 2015, when Jayalalitha was the chief minister. I don't understand. If there's anyone you should be questioning, it's not the DMK, it should be your partner, the ADMK.
Arnab Goswami, do you know more than the Supreme Court?
Well, I certainly know more than you on this subject.
Do you know more than the Supreme Court?
I know more than you on the subject.
You're embarrassing yourself.
Well, you are embarrassing yourself by not answering my question. You answer my question. You are embarrassing yourself by answering not. My question to you is, when the corruption happened, who was in power? When the corruption happened, who was in power?
Don't embarrass yourself.
When the corruption happened, who was in power? Don't embarrass yourself by not answering the question. When the corruption happened, who was in power? Are you scared to take the name of the party that was in power when the corruption happened? And if you are not, then say, who was in power when the corruption happened?
Bigger than the Constitution, DMK is not bigger than the law of the land. And Arnab Goswami, stop embarrassing yourself.
I think you're not being able to answer the question, and I personally think that you're a little taken aback with the question out here. Let me repeat to you, for abundant understanding on your part, because you need to understand this. Senthil was accused of running the cash for job scam between 2011 and 2015. So he was a minister in the ADMK government. So whose government was he a minister in? Who allowed the scam? I will continue to ask you. Who allowed the scam? I will continue to ask you.
To read out the Supreme Court verdict.
The Supreme Court is asking for an investigation into an act of corruption that was allegedly carried out. This cash for job scam was carried out when Jayalalitha was chief minister. Jayalalitha was chief minister of Tamil Nadu at that time. Balaji was a minister in whose government? Balaji was not minister in a Rajnikant government. Balaji was minister in a Jayalalitha government. Why don't you ask the ADMK?
Arnab Goswami, please go and file a habeas corpus petition on behalf of Senthil Balaji with the Supreme Court.
Now that's really dodging it.
Since you have so...
You're really dodging the question now.
Balaji.
No, you're dodging the question now.
Petition.
Why don't you admit? Why don't you admit? I don't understand this. See, if you're on a matter of principle, you ought to admit. On a matter of principle, and here you are now, tonight you're not being able to get away from this. On a matter of principle, you should stand for principle. The fact of the matter is that whatever position you're taking today is very weak, because the person accused, very weak.
For you, and I don't think Arnab Goswami knows the law of the land better than
I know the law of the land better than you, 1,000 times better than you.
So stop embarrassing yourself.
I know it 1,000,000 times better than you.
If you have any problems, please file a counter petition with the Supreme Court, because on 16th May, the Supreme Court gave clean permission to the Enforcement Directorate to raid the premises and carry out investigation.
I have a problem. I have a problem with your feeble attempts to. I have a problem with your feeble attempts to avoid my question on the culpability of your partner in Tamil Nadu, the ADMK.
Today, the person in the dockyard is Senthil Balaji. Today, he is with the DMK. He has the Supreme Court verdict against him. Arnab Goswami can cry and sulk on his behalf. It's not going to help.
No, you must speak up formally against the ADMK then in that case. Now, Mr. Elangovan, it's not between you and me. Mr. Elangovan, tell me one thing. Do you disagree on one fundamental fact, Mr. Elangovan, that a crime has been committed? See, I want to only ask you on facts now. My point to you is, Mr. Elangovan, you've been in politics for decades now. And I've had the privilege of and pleasure of knowing you for over 20 years. Mr. Elangovan, when something wrong happens, at that point of time, we cannot say that because the person is now in our party, we will defend him. Mr. Elangovan, I understand that land that is valued at over 25 crores was sold to him for 10.88 lakh. That is 0.4% of the actual cost. And it does not stop here. This led to his illicit funds being turned into an asset. There is a large villa, I am told, on the same land. One individual got 3.75 acres for 10 lakhs. Sir, can you tell me anywhere in an urban area of India where you can get almost 4 acres for 10 lakhs? Then he gives this land to her daughter, who is married to somebody else, who is a co-accused and the brother of Senthil Balaji. Then the land is sold to another individual who had previously taken loans amounting to more than 40 crores on the land. The banks evaluated the land at a value exceeding 25 crores. Therefore, the logic is you take 10 lakhs and you convert 10 lakhs into 25 crores. Mr. Elangovan, even Robert Vadra cannot do this level of magic on land deals. This is Robert Vadra. This is Robert Vadra to the power of 10, I think. Mr. Elangovan. What are you? I'm glad I made you smile tonight.
No. I tell you, when they offer all these charges, Senthil Balaji had stated that he will face the charges in the court of law. So that apart, my question is, with all these...
Let him complete. Sanju, now let him complete. Please, I request you, Sanju. Let him make his full point. Thank you, Sanju. After him. Thank you.
My question is, these charges were made somewhere 10 years back. Now, the ED had investigated the case. Some police or whoever had investigated case and gone to the court. The court quashed it. Then they went to Supreme Court. They produced evidences, and based on those evidences, the Supreme Court had ordered that the trial should continue. But going to the State Secretariat now, when the matter had happened somewhere 10 years back when Jayalalitha was the Chief Minister.
So is there a law in the IPC that the ED cannot...
No, this is to insult the DMK.
Insult, he says. They want to insult the DMK, says Mr. Elangovan. Mr. Elangovan, he says you want to insult us.
Law which prohibits the Enforcement Directorate from raiding the Tamil Nadu Secretariat.
Okay, let him respond to you, Sanju. He's making a different point. Please, thank you.
Say what? I have one charge. Say what had happened in Karnataka. An MLA's son, they had taken more than 40 crore rupees from an MLA's son. What action they had taken now?
Yeah, so the Lokayukta is probing that case. The BJP is not supporting that particular MLA or his son. In fact, he's no longer an MLA.
Who is taking action? Who is taking action? Is the government, state government? No.
But do you have the guts to sack Senthil Balaji?
That is not a punishment. Not giving a ticket, is it punishment?
Mr. Elangovan responding back. Mr. Elangovan, go on.
Not giving a ticket is a punishment.
An excise minister of Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
When will you sack Senthil Balaji?
They have not taken any action. My question is, refusing a seat to contest is not an action.
Sack Senthil Balaji from the cabinet, Mr. Elangovan. When there were charges against K. Ishwarappa, we had...
So those actions we will take. What?
We removed K. Ishwarappa as the Panchayati Raj
Okay,
Minister.
Sanju is responding to you. Thank you. He's responding to you.
Yeah. Will you sack Senthil Balaji right now?
Okay, thank you. Sanju, you don't repeat that. Thank you. Yeah.
No, let us prove. See, after all, without the judgment, he is being charged with certain case. How can we give a punishment? Let the court give its verdict.
Okay, I'll leave it there. Mr. Elangovan, thank you very much. This has been an interesting face-off. The pictures of the day full frame on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, as we move on. And that has been a DMK versus BJP debate, and the biggest controversy of the day over this 47-year-old minister in the Tamil Nadu government, Senthil Balaji. So earlier in the ADMK, now in the DMK, arrested, and the DMK says all the centre wants to do is try and insult the Stalin government. That's a big political story and the pictures of the day, and it's a massive development.